My name is Umesh Dudani. I live in San Francisco.
I'm from Arizona. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, in an ashram community downtown.
I decided to come on this yatra on a whim.
I'm a Midwest girl. My journey on this yatra is to explore myself spiritually.
I've been to India 5 other times, but they were always on business.
I decided that this year I needed to spend my time showing gratitude and giving back.
I have traveled extensively through Europe, through Africa, Antarctica, throughout the Indian Ocean. The travels here in India have a completely different meaning.
My spiritual path started very recently, in the last less than a year.
That longing to have a deeper spiritual experience and this yatra was just something that was pulling me incredibly.
I decided to take this trip for 2 main reasons. One was because the trip included the Kumbh Yatra, which is, I've always wanted to do that. And second, because Sridhar was coming and I wanted to reconnect with the Kirtan in India. And I knew he would know a lot of good Kirtaniyas in India also.
I always thought I'd like to go to India. For some reason, I was just checking out the Bhakti website, and there was this Yatra trip that just sounded so amazing. Kind of had this inner knowing that I think this is what I should do.
I work in the banking sector, and I got caught up in it. I was always a very spiritual person, and then I kind of basically lost myself. And then when I started to look deeper into the world and tried to get out of materialism, I started to feel a lot more light about life, and I saw there has to be something more.
I was kind of diverted from, I was studying Vedanta in college, and I thought, I gotta go to India. Everybody's doing it, in the late 60s. And I got drafted. So went to Southeast Asia, which was different, and now I'm finally back where I would have started 50 years ago, my friend.
I recognized my dad's 10-year anniversary of his disappearance or his passing. We've had his ashes for 10 years, and we haven't done anything with them, and I thought it would be really special to put those in the Ganges River.
Well, my background goes back is Buddhism. I've took refuge in the Tibetan lineage, and through that readings and studies, I've seen the parallel with Hinduism and how they came together in Mother India.
anything with Bhakti Fest, I was like, yes, whatever it is, I want to come.
I'm Russian, came from Odessa, the part on the Black Sea.
I'm Maddie, I'm from Canada.
I am from Long Island, New York.
What brought me here was about 20 years ago. The Bhagavad Gita as is was left on the windshield of my car.
I started this journey in my 20s doing yoga meditation.
If anybody knows me, I don't travel without some guitar, even when I used to bike tour as a kid.
So I am seeking the spirituality, I think science in 2012, more or less.
Been called for probably more than 30 years, knowing that I would eventually come to India. Very much into the musical devotion part. The Bhakti devotion is really calls me. I think that will probably be my means of expression, is the devotion and the seva. I am very much looking to find my dharma.
In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells, if one offers to me even a leaf, he doesn't say millions of leaves, he says even a leaf, a flower, a fruit. What's most valuable that gives quality and fulfillment to the heart and to life is the love we share with each other. To the extent love expands, it's fulfilling, it's ecstatic. We may love our child, we may love our parents, we may love a lover, but when that expands to our neighbors, love your neighbor as yourself. That's the natural expression of loving God. Compassion is the expression of love. It's very important if we want to understand what yoga is, what this true spirit of life is. Yoga doesn't mean just a system. It means a connection, a divine connection with our own soul.
Started off with this amazing flower ceremony, and it just blew me away just on the onset. We were taking them and we were throwing them out to people, and you were thinking of those petals like love, and it was like this very concrete way of feeling like these petals were love, and we were able to pick them up and extend them out to all the people that were at the festival. How amazing is that?
Said Maharaj recreated Vrindavan totally at the place we're going, with all the temples and all the shrines, all the deities, but without the noise, without the dirt, without the traffic, no cars, nothing. It's the pristine Vrindavan from thousands of years ago.
Radhanath Swami has this great village, and in this village, he is creating a sustainable farm. It's a magical place. It's something that when you're there, you think, gosh, I wish we could bring this home. This is an area in India, there's a lot of poverty here. I look at the United States and I think, why can't we bring some of this home? They're doing it here, and there's people lacking so much here. And back home, the situation is we have the money, it's just not being done. I look at that village as so inspiring to me.
It's just extraordinary what they've done here, but it shouldn't be that way. It should be more the norm, I believe.
You know, my background is in engineering and business, and the technology that they're using here is current state-of-the-art technology in terms of communications, in terms of waste management, in terms of they're using all the modern tools of technology today and being successful in a village environment to eventually be 100% totally sustainable.
Look at all the cranes.
Some of my greatest experiences were at the Govardhan Eco Village, where they had replicated the forest and the 7 main temples of Vrindavan. Swami Radhanath was so amazing in his time that he spent with us, so giving of his time. And we spent this time walking through this beautiful forest. It's so well kept and so peaceful.
When I look back on the path that I chose, I never lamented. And it only gets better, because the more purified you become, the more you realize the beauty of the mantra that you're chanting and the opportunities that are ahead for you. So please, while you're here for your short little stay here, absorb as much as you can. It's a wonderful community. Eco village means we're living in harmony with nature. And my favorite place is the cows. I love those cows. My spiritual master Prabhupada said one time, the best view from a window is a body of water. If you live on the ocean, you'll know what I mean, or you're near a lake. You can achieve, what it takes 20 minutes meditation, just look at that body of water. He said, or when you see a cow. When you see a cow, your mind becomes very peaceful.
It's sustainable, it's all natural. It's the way to live on a continually challenged planet, it seems to me. It's certainly the way we're going to inherit the stars, We'll have these little oases of motherships, as it were, and everything will have to be run like it's run right here, right now. These guys are 100 years ahead of America.
So this is where we are working on trying to replace the chemicals in traditional soaps, conventional soaps, with the essential elements from cow dung, cow urine. So there are 5 things which comes from cows. It's called Panchagavya, which is very potent. Cow dung, of course, cow urine, milk, ghee. Ghee is clarified butter, and curd. Yeah, this is one of those psychology tests. You see, what do you see in your soap? Yeah, so much can be done from cow dung and cow urine, and cows are amazing. You get a lot of good things from them.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not, they don't have to be on a dinner plate all the time. There's so many other things that can come.
Belly up to the bar.
And it's even chilled, huh?
Yes. For those of you who missed it, you are going to get very good kidneys, liver, and a heart. Your immune system is going to be boosted. Your cholesterol levels are going to come down. Your body fat will reduce. And your 3 doshas, the kapha, vata, pitta, the bile, the air, and the mucus in your body, they're going to be balanced.
Why not?
There you go.
I got a chaser.
This is good for what?
Oh, so delicious.
It
needs a different aroma.
Oh yeah, that is cow piss.
One's good enough.
Yeah.
You want to do one?
Oh,
Now we're gonna do
Oh, for her, I have the whole bottle. This is the part which is priceless.
It's fine. Forget
It's fine. We gotta do another shot.
No.
Give me a
It tripped on my face.
Fresh cow dung, it causes the brain to release serotonin.
Oh, really?
The happy hormone.
Yeah.
So this is a scientific fact. Just the smell of fresh cow dung is very good for the human mind.
And what's the dung patty for?
Oh.
Okay, it's not that bad, right?
No.
So just imagine you're making a pizza base.
Is that good enough?
Yes, yes, good. Little more flatter. Just a tiny. And
A for Amira.
No, it's
And-
hers because of her initials.
and that is used as a fuel for cooking. It's a substitute for coal.
So how do we tune in to the divine blessing of a holy place like Vrindavan? According to how we approach. If we're going as a tourist, then we'll have some good and bad experiences as a tourist. If we're seriously going as a seeker of blessings, of grace, of love, then our hearts will be transformed forever. Because it's all there.
So thank you for making the eco-village your first India destination. Thank you. Oh yes, there you go. Those are our friends. Say hi to all our donkeys. If you've been following the news from India, and I recently heard the same case even on the other side of the globe, many farmers are committing suicide. Right?
Yeah.
So that's a phenomenon all over the world. So this is our little attempt to ensure that they get the right quality of life that they deserve. And this is one wing of our rural development program. And we started seeing results very earlier on, since almost 2013, 14 onwards, we started seeing results. So never do this.
Yeah.
Okay? And never do this. So try to have sufficient footing.
Bring it on. It's my turn. How you doing?
Part of the mango.
Oh, his just broke in half.
And how long have we been doing this?
Like
Oh, was it even 8 minutes? Oh, 8. I thought I was going to say hour, but 8 minutes.
I think this is making me appreciate a mango 100%.
How many farmers did they say will be taking care of the rest of this at the end?
3. Oh, just 3. 3. For Pete's sake, how many people do we have here right now?
60.
60. 3.
And we
Bless their
can't
heart.
even. Oh wow, these people. I mean, I never thought most of these people must have ever lifted, but I saw how hard they were working. Everybody seems very focused towards seva. Our whole group in the end, we, took a group picture and everyone said seva, and we took a picture.
We're as far away from the factories of American produce and milk products and stuff like that as we can get here. It's something new and exciting and heart-opening every minute of the day here. We're all exhausted. We haven't had time to stop because it's not just that it's new and we're tourists. Compassion isn't the name of the game, as it always was, and repetition is the mother of learning. Is that the old phrase? We are continually reminded to exercise our compassion here. I will say that. That's required. Because, in the same way, I was thinking yesterday, if somebody said, well, how was India? How was India? I wouldn't know what to say. There's too much. I mean, one tiny moment, and that's Krishna. One tiny accident becomes the purpose of the day. So I think the awareness of other people is the greatest gift this Yatra has to give for us.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama.
The idea of the Vrindavan forest, our Guru Srila Prabhupada, he introduced people of the Western world to this very holy place. It is a place that the Puranas, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Upanishads, the Mahabharata, so many of the Vedic literatures composed approximately 5,000 years ago, just after Krishna's departure from the world, describes how Krishna, he performed his wonderful pastimes of love in the forest of Vrindavan.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare all the people sharing all the world. But I'm not the only one. I imagine love.
Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Shri Shyam, Jai
monkeys, like just seeing animals everywhere, wild animals. Was so much fun.
What happens here is when this happens to anyone, the locals always just run in and help out. You know? It's really lovely actually. I guess they feel guilty that we've got monkeys thieving visitors' clothes. There he is. Check it out. Got it.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Hello everybody. Good morning. So we're at one of the most important, special, beautiful temples in the whole of Vrindavan right now. This is called Radha Damodar Temple, and this temple has been here for about 450 years. 400? Yes. Wow. It's changed, but the deities have been here more or less since then. And what we're going to be walking around, we're going to walk around the temple, around the back, and there's many tombs of amazing Bhakti yogi saints. George Harrison himself, there's a photo of him sitting right in front of the tombs just over there. So feel free to just get the blessings here like funnels. Just let them rain down on us, because this is one of the most sacred places in the universe, not on the planet.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
This is Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, for those of you who don't know. And he was the first person to go to the Western world to bring this Gaudiya Vaishnava, this Bhakti movement to everyone in the world. And then he went on the boat on 1965 on the Jaladuta at the age of 70 from Bombay, and arrived in Boston Harbor and began chanting in Tompkins Square Park in New York with his kartals.
And he landed with a bag of the equivalent to Rice Krispies, puff rice. This Indian puff rice is very light and dry roasted and very, very simple. Two or three pieces of cloth. And from that managed to make it on the other side. He managed to make it into the Forbes top 50 most successful people after 6 years old too.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Most women usually will grow up, they get married, be part of the house life, and don't realize that you can do a lot more in this life. And that was wonderful. And then I also adopted 2 very small girls. I think they were about the age of 4 years old. And just to see their openness with me was incredible. They don't speak English, maybe just 1, 2, 3. And to see the smiles on their faces and just to embrace me as a person, and knowing that I can also help them out on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, from year to year, it's just wonderful. It's a really, really, really amazing feeling to have.
So when we got to what has turned out to be the highlight of the trip for me, which was the school, and I saw what they were able to do with so little for those girls who otherwise would have really terrible lives, it touched me in a way I've probably never been touched before in my life. I have a daughter, I have 2 granddaughters, and I can't imagine them having to be in a world that didn't value them as people. So I did sponsor a girl while I was there. It kind of transformed how I felt about this entire trip. I truly believe that that was the reason why I'm here.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare.
We were coming by a rickshaw, and just as we were about to stop, there's this monkey who comes from behind and snatched my glasses away, and I couldn't even know what happened until you guys told me what happened. I did get it back, but there was a guy who basically got it from the monkey, gave it to me, and I gave him some money.
This in this color, I really like this color.
Mhm.
This is nice. I'm looking for this in more like cotton.
Yeah, this is 100% pure silk.
What shirt does red? I love this. Colors like me. It's vibrant, but not overbearing.
Good?
Yeah.
And plus my discount, right?
You want a discount also?
Well, I thought that's what we said from the beginning. Discount also.
Yeah,
packaged out.
I mean, that's good.
That's
Okay.
All right.
Very nice.
The rest of your group is already inside.
Yeah, we're already inside, so you can go in.
Radhe Radhe. Are there more of you?
Wow. Look. And there he goes.
And one time, you know what?
Huh.
We had this, my nanny, and then we were going in Radhakund. We were walking there, and there was one boy which was scaring the baby monkeys like throwing stones. And then we were running away because the papa monkey was there, and he was attacking. And then the boy went straight the way. Then we couldn't get through, so we went the other way, and we were all first, and my nanny was last, and then the big monkey just scratched her hair very hard.
Oh,
then she
no.
had to see the doctor,
Oh.
and now she's go to travel around the world.
I should not take a picture of her because Nancy will want me to bring her home.
When I was small child, I born in the king family of Munger. Na? So they are all Krishna's bhakta. But I got the chance to study in Catholic school. They put me, that was new program in 57 or they start Catholic school in Munger. So when I went there, I have to pray every class like this. So I love Jesus very much. Before knowing Krishna, I know Jesus. And this is the Vrindavan. We come to realize this love, divine love. It's not a place for looking, it's a place for realization. Vrindavan is a place where the goddess of love, living here. This is Vrindavan. So my dear brother, my dear sister, you come for realization. Not anything is like America. Every place you go, from New York to California, everything is the beautiful and nice. Material thing you can find there. But if you like to know, everyone has to come for the place where the love living And that is Vrindavan.
This is a very, very, very important place in the pantheon of all our spiritual work. This is where all the Ramdas, Bhagawandas, Krishnadas, Jayutal, and all that whole lineage originally started in the late 60s and the early 70s. Maharaj had many ashrams all over India, and mostly everybody goes up to Kenshi up in the mountains. But Maharaji was a Brajvasi. He was Krishna, right? And he was a Hanuman Bhakta. It's very rare that you have that combination. He was a householder. He had 2 children. But he disappeared constantly because he had the ability to transport himself and be in different locations at different times. This is a realized being, very rare in the 20th century, and one of the greatest beings that ever lived. We're right here. And of all the places that he wanted to be buried or entombed, which is what he is right behind us, was Vrindavan. He had all these other places, all the other ashrams all over India. He said, this is my place. This is where he started. And that's why all the ashrams that he has all over India, 24-hour Maha Mantra. That's the power of this mantra, that you see it, all the lineages except this Maha Mantra. Doesn't matter, Hanuman, Shiva, Krishna, whoever it is, the Maha Mantra is the highest mantra. And they know it. These great beings know it. That's why they chant it all the time in their ashrams. This is a great thing. I've been coming here for 30 years. And every time I bring any group here, I always manage to come here because it's so powerful. This is where he told Ramdas, go back to America, but don't tell anybody about me. Mm-hmm. As soon as Ramdas walked out, he told everybody.
I had many deep meditations while I was here, many. But Neem Karoli Baba's was probably the best for me because I, kind of studied that tradition. Being a child of the 60s, Ram Das's guru, Krishna Das's guru, Jayutal's guru.
Yeah, then we got to see his son, which is apparently really rare. I heard from even government officials try to see him and they don't get to, and we got to.
Govardhan Hill was very nice. The temple that we had access to through Sridhar, with the paintings on the ceilings and the description that we had, was probably the most inspirational at this point to me.
This is going to be you guys' guru in a couple of years. Pay attention to him.
This is Haridev Das, and he was born here. So he's never actually left this area. Pretty much. He doesn't know anything besides the Holy Land. In the middle, the biggest ones, this is the king. These are all the pastimes of the king. So he had established maybe a few different places, but this is the biggest he made as a huge memorial. This place is called Kusham Sarovara. Sarovara means lake in Sanskrit, and Kusam is a particular type of lotus flower. So this Kusham Sarovara indicates a particular type of lotus was growing in this lake here. So I hope that you will also get a little bit taste of this bhakti while you're here. And this place is very powerful and potent also. It's not like an ordinary material energy working here. So if one prays with that intention from the heart actually, that I want to go deeper in spiritual life, I want to go deeper, whatever it may be, then it will come. Whatever stage you're on now, you'll go to the next stage very quickly. Or you may even skip a few levels, which is my experience. By living here, you get expedited advancement.
That's what really makes it unique is you're there, you're touching the ground, you're kissing the ground where these events have occurred. I think your soul is blessed so much that you feel like you're actually floating sometimes.
Ram Yatra, Parikrama, Radha Rani, Gopi Bhag. We are only one board, Sri Krishna, all Gopi. Krishna Prema, Damu, Shama Kunda, Radha Kunda, Giri Gopi, Radha Kunda, Shama Kunda, Giri Gopi. Bolo Gandha, Krishna Priya Madhav, Gun Damodar, Shama Kunda, Radha Kunda, Giri Gopi.
I would go anywhere by myself. That's one place I would not go by myself because you've got tens of millions of people. They don't speak English, and if you get lost there, you're in trouble. So we're excited. We're anticipating that adventure.
So the driver of the bus did not know English, and Bria, he only knew Hindi, and Bria and Sia obviously did not know Hindi. So what they were doing to communicate with the driver was they were calling the driver's office, talking to the driver's boss in English, and then the boss was communicating to the driver by phone or something. So this went on for a while, and it was getting frustrating for both with this thing. And then they asked me if I could help, and sure enough I was able to do that. And then I had to navigate the bus, basically moving through this Kumbh Mela and going through different roads and so on and so forth. It's no big deal.
Umesh, why didn't you tell us that you spoke Hindi? That was crazy. I mean, I knew he was from Mumbai, but he made it sound like he left so long. Like he said he left as a child or something, so I didn't know that he spoke the language still. He didn't really make that clear to us until we were trying to negotiate maybe a rickshaw or something, and he was able to come in, and even Sridhar went, "What is happening? How did we not know that we had a translator in our group?" Getting us through to the Kumbh Mela, I had to pull him up to the front of the bus with me to help me translate the whole way, because I pulled up Google Translate to start using with the driver, but he was having to basically look away from the road to read it every time, because the assistant, I don't think, could read. I'm not sure, because he kept pointing to the driver, like he'd look at my phone and had no idea. So having Umesh there was an absolute godsend.
On the first day when I was going to meet my friend, I was going on the cycle rickshaw wala, right? So the cycle rickshaw, is a manual cycle, so it goes through the different tents, and during that time in the evening there was discourses going on in each and every tent. Because it was on a cycle, so it was, I could listen to some of the things that the Swamis were saying. And even though it would last like 30 seconds, like this one, in one particular case, the Swami was saying that the time of your death is destined at the time that you were born. And as life is going by, each every moment, you are moving closer to death, or death is moving closer to you. So his point was to live accordingly. And that happens like in 15 seconds, that knowledge that you get. So imagine that, just going there. And maybe that was the reason why I was meant to go on that cycle rickshaw and not the actual, I would not be able to listen to all this stuff. And then all the knowledge and wisdom that the Babas have to offer freely. They meditate in the mountains for the whole year and all this stuff. During the Mela, they come and offer without any expectation or without anything in return, knowledge and wisdom to everybody. Beautiful, this thing. And then to do this all in the midst of 100 million people or so in a small town, all spiritual, this thing. It's an experience of a lifetime.
आप यहाँ थोड़े वहाँ खड़े हो।
It's been a very powerful learning experience about myself. We had a talk yesterday where they said that, especially in the Kumbh, where it brings about a lot of, it almost puts yourself in front of you and you get to realize a lot about yourself in a very heavy way, and it's definitely done that for me here. And it's been a really good learning and growing experience. Everything about it's been amazing, and I can't wait to sit on it a little bit, since we've been go on the trip so much that I think it'll sit in and it'll settle in a little bit more when I get back, at least in the first day, or even on the plane ride home when I can't sleep. It'll finally sit in and be like, wow, all that happened, and wow. Even words, it's hard to describe everything that's been going on, really.
It's such a gathering of spirituality can accumulate in one place is a testament to the Indian people and their devotion. Hard to find it anywhere else. It's so deep. So it's a pleasure to experience that, and I hope I do so with the proper respect that it deserves.
Americans and Canadians to come visit you in India?
I like all our world. I like my family, all my family.
How do you feel about the way that it is with all the different religions of people coming together? Does that bring peace to you? to see everyone coming together in such a way.
Welcome to all.
Several religions.
Yes. No. The Christian is nothing. Listen, Christian is nothing. No religion.
Right. Spirituality.
But love is religion. Big religion, love.
I think the top highlight of my whole yatra was the bathing experience at the Kumbh Mela. I tell you, it is like an amazing experience. It is a very deeply spiritual experience. It's hard to put into words. And the next day, that Pujari at the camp also, who just happened to mention on his own, he says there is something special over here because otherwise why would 100 million people come and have that bathing experience at the Kumbh Mela? It is obviously something, there's something there. Something magical, something mystical, and that is what I felt. It's a experience that is hard to describe in words, and it was just like a 30-second experience because you just dip 3 times and you're done. And when you do that, and I did that, it was like it made the whole trip worthwhile. The long flights from the U.S. and going through all the hardships and all, the physical hardships in the journey, it made that all worth it.
I can't lie, I was kind of terrified. Friends have been telling me that it is an experience, and all I kept getting from people was, it's unsafe, it's overcrowded, why are you going, you shouldn't go. And I kept saying to myself, then why do 40 million people go to this every year if this is all I'm hearing from them? So I took what they said with a grain of salt and just kind of was like, be open about it. Be open about my experience. And since I walked here, outside of the distractions, it has been an amazing experience. The people that we're just meeting and it's just being open, we just randomly just met a Swami. It was beautiful. Maharaj was just there and invited us over. And it's just about being open spiritually. I really feel, if you could have saw me before this trip, I wasn't glowing this much. After being here for 2 weeks, is just, I have a lot to bring back.
I just stepped into the Ganga River, and that was watching everybody bathe, and it was just very moving, all of it. It's just hard for me to express into words, but it just has filled my heart with just so much love and peace.
All these things just pop the heart wide open, which is such a gift in itself, you know, coming from the city and how we generally live, to be here in such a diverse ecosystem of life, this organized, complete chaos.
This is one lifetime opportunity because it will never ever be the same. It will be different. So every moment is very precious, and every one of us has contributed the love, devotion, kindness to one another, helping each other. But the truth is, our journey will begin when we come back home and when we'll start processing everything and deciding how do we choose to live our lives, how do we choose to feel, what path do we choose.
So everything we've seen, again, all these guides, all these gurus have just been unbelievable, and it's been just, I felt it right over here and here.
my biggest experience is just this feeling that I have in my heart that I've never felt in my whole life, that I just feel like I really am part of, something a lot bigger than what I could have ever imagined.
Last night we had a celebration at an orphanage, and we had a special celebration for them.
I am happy, I am good. Satnam, Satnam, Satnam Ji. Waheguru, Waheguru, Waheguru Ji. I love it.
And the energy, it was just incredible. We were on total bliss.
Lakshmi Devi ki Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari.
The Lord has so sweetly said, and depending on His word, I will surrender, surrender, surrender.
You could stay in one stone yurt made from the stones of the Ganga, and not see anything else and have the experience of Maharishi's ashram. She asked me about Vietnam. What was Vietnam like? The minute I got off the plane, and the heat and the light and the smell hits you first thing, right? But as my eyes got used to the bright light, I saw these little specks of silver, which turned out to be like tape decks, radios, stuff like that. But there was music playing, and it was Jai Guru Deva Om. Nothing's gonna change my world. And I thought, wow, if that isn't my omen for the next year in Vietnam, I don't know what is. She said, George Harrison is doing Panchakarma here all week. Don't tell anybody. So I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner across the table from George Harrison. We never spoke a word to each other.
Set you free from me. My playing God is over.
I'm staying in Rishikesh. I have to. I absolutely love it. I'm not getting on a plane and going back to Los Angeles anymore.
I pray to be a bow upon my life, a fixing arrow, a dazzling, a weapon of your will. Like the poet says, let that string that sings.
The kirtans, woohoo! Hari Om, Hari Hari Om. I love the kirtans. Very inside the kirtans that you can be free to sing and to dance. and you're free by your own in your internal spirituality. Is the people, the music very strong, very alive, makes us the kundalini really naturally goes up.
Everybody puts their hands in the air like so, and they say, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Nice try. Stick 'em back up. Haribol. Let us serenade you with one very soft one. So sit down. If you want to do your Shavasana, it's also good. We'll sing a soft lullaby for you, shall we?
I've learned to love people in a different way on this journey. I've learned to love this place.
We just fed some cows and had a wonderful experience. It was great. Yay.
It's really beautiful. Despite the pollution and the poverty, everywhere we went, people said, "Welcome to India." For chanting Hare Krishna or saying Haribol, they were so grateful that we were here as Westerners appreciating their religion with all the religious persecution everyone has experienced throughout India. The fact that they're so dedicated to what they believe, that when they see someone else in support of it, was really beautiful. Yeah, not once did I feel there were times I thought, as a Westerner, I was worried that they'd be thinking, "What are you doing here?" Not once did I feel like that. They were always just so grateful to see us.
Maddie, because we're celebrating her 21st birthday. And then, so we don't burn the place down, I just did a single candle for Street Art.
You got the bulk of the blowing.
Yes. That's right.
Good wishes to everybody and a healthy, happy life Always, for all of us.
Mm.